So I'm on the ladder. Madeline's going to get some riveting footage of me riveting. Stay tuned, folks.
Oh, wow. Alright, that's enough.
Alright, so on the first panel, after quite a lot of work, hours and hours, that hatch channel is going to get riveted as the last one with 1/4-inch rivets. That'll complete 1/4-inch rivets on this panel. Then you'll see at the top and bottom, possibly one in the center. Actually, I might throw a 1/4-inch rivet on each center before I'm done here of the panels there. But then the 3/16 rivets, so we follow those guide holes in the panels, except for where we're putting windows in. So actually, I think I have to talk to my wife, but this that I'm pointing at might be where one of the windows goes in the bedroom. So, but it would be above the bottom line, so I will likely put rivets there. Okay, so I decided to put a row of 1/4-inch in the sections that aren't going to get a window in the middle. I haven't done that one yet, or that one. I do need to decide relative to the bed where the windows are going to be. I think it makes the most sense to put the windows near where our heads will rest. That would be that first section where I'm pointing right now. So that'll likely be where I skip that. But anyhow, got the perimeter and all the hatch channels riveted in place. Certainly that panel ain't going anywhere. Very strong, should help support the structure. Okay, so at this point on that first panel, I've got all the 1/4-inch rivets in place. I talked to my wife and we did decide to put the bedroom window on that panel, so I didn't put any rivets in. I'll put a line at the lowest end, 3/16, but the window's going to be above that, and there's no need to put rivets in, just to rip them out later or cut them out later. So doing that first panel has taught me that it's smart to pre-drill your holes as much as you can before you put the sheet metal up. That's what I'm going to do on the rest of this side. I'll do that, and also I didn't grind off some of my welding that may have caused some spacing issues with that panel. I think it'll be okay, but where I butt welded the pieces together, I need to grind the excess weld off so that it fits more tightly. The rivets will get a better bite in their grip that way. So anyway, a couple lessons learned that ought to speed up the job for the next panel. All right, so back at the bus here, beginning of Easter weekend, Thursday evening. I'm off tomorrow. I'll be drilling holes here, but I did get a new Metabo cheapo drill. This one's actually kind of nice because it lets you, it's variable speed, but it lets you limit the actual top end speed, which is good for this type of drilling. But yeah, the drill's a little noisy, but for 40 bucks it was a pretty good drill. Hopefully it lasts. The other drill I was using was actually malfunctioning. The hammer drill function kept turning on even though I had it selected off. So that old Black & Decker cheapo hammer drill was probably junk when I bought it. So anyway, hopefully this works better and doesn't blow through bits as fast as that drill was. So, but I did buy some more 1/4-inch cobalt bits. You can plan to use quite a few drill bits if you do a roof raise. It's an interesting Easter weekend. Alright, back at the bus on Good Friday here. Got my Cousin Eddie hat on because it's actually snowing here in Pennsylvania in April. as it is, I guess, in other places with this weird little weathered system. But anyhow, drilling more holes today. The idea here is to pre-drill all of the hat channels and edges so that when we put the sheets up, all I have to drill through is the sheet metal. It'll be quicker and easier, get less, I guess I'm hoping it'll be less complex to put the next ones up. So anyway, so I'm gonna get back at it here. So Madeline, there's a trooper. She's cleaning all the wet chunks of insulation out of the side. Eventually there'll be a foam board and spray foam on the edges in there. So anyway, she's a good worker. Okay, so the holes are drilled in the hat channels the whole way down on this side now. All of them are going to get hit with the grinder to clean up the burrs. And right now I'm working on the top rail. Got the drill hanging ready to get the outer edge of the top rail all the way down, widened to 1/4. Oops. Okay, so I got the drills, the holes all drilled on this side. Now I'm going to break out the grinder and clean up the surface where I put some welds, where there's still some glue. You can see there behind me there's a little bit of green on that hat channel right here. That's the old glue. That's getting ground off. I'm going to hit the bus with some primer on the hat channels. Things I should have done with that first piece but didn't. So the first piece will be the probably the worst piece on the bus of sheet metal. But you know, you learn as you go. So anyhow, I'm going to get back at it. Okay, so cleaned everything up with the grinder here. Used the paint I had on hand, gray primer and some other primer and paint in one here. And got some primer on the hat channels. So should have done this on the first sheet, but you know, like I said, you get better at this as you go. So anyhow, that's probably it for today. All right, so it's Easter Eve and we're cleaning out the bus, getting ready to put panels on that side.
My new dress.
All the kids are very productive because they're bored with the coronavirus stay at home. So,
Look at my dress.
oh, and she's wearing a lovely frock today. So anyhow, we're gonna finish cleaning and then put the middle fill panels up, and then we'll have dry fit sheets on this side of the bus by the end of the day is my plan. Okay, so I've tack welded the middle metal fill everywhere except where the big window is going to go. We've got a panel ready on the tractor to go up. It's going to go right here. And then we're going to finish laying panels across over to the door here. I'm going to dry fit them, throwing a couple 1/4-inch bolts in each. All right, so got the tractor loaded with another sheet. I'm going to put the third sheet on, then we're going to cut a sheet to fit the last one. Probably just cut it in half if I had to guess. I don't know. I have to take a measurement, I guess, but. Okay, so on this side, all the metal's up dry fitted. Everything's ready to, with the pre-drilling, just drill through the outer sheet metal and put the rivets in. So that part ought to go much quicker now on this side than the initial panel did, but this is kind of where we're at in the process. I'm pretty happy with today's progress. The kids helped Of course, we popped the tractor tire off the rim, so we got to fix that one. It was a little low and it broke its bead, so that'll have to wait till Monday after Easter. So anyhow, by hand it wasn't too bad with 3 people. But that is the current status. All the sheets are in position on this side and ready to be riveted here, probably after Easter. Alright, and here's the view from the outside. Dry fit, but not necessarily completed. So there we go. Everything's ready to throw rivets in.